Hello, storytellers. It's Storytelling Run. I'm going to talk about the dungeons in the Dark Ages for the Lord RPG. I was going to do a thing on Fallout 4 review and how they just don't have any Christianity in it, and or some other stuff. But I'm just like, there's just so much crap out there. They just take out Christianity in everything that they do. Paladin, in D&D, Paladin, Cleric, Angels, whatever, medieval history. It's all Christian. It's all about Christianity because paganism is everywhere. Paganism is the entire world. But we all love the medieval fantasy, and that comes from Christianity's struggle to defeat paganism. And they just take that out. They just take out the Christian part, right? The druids are in the D&D are just like druids in real life. Acting like pagans. Anyway, I want to talk about this for the Lord RPG. I'm bringing Christianity back to the RPG, or I'm bringing it in. I don't know if it's ever been in it. And I'm going to show you how I do it here in the Dark Ages series that I'm working on with, I'm playtesting. I'm playing with 3 people right now, but I really would like to use a 4th person. We only play every other week, and 4th or 5th person people. It's just starting, but it's okay. I still like what I'm doing, and I hope they do too. But I hope it does grow. And then the time is odd too. It's on a Wednesday at 11, so it's kind of weird. Which is based on one guy's in Russia, in St. Petersburg. Anyway, so the game, they're let me go to here. Nope, not there. Here. So they're in Italy, and they start off in Ravio, and went from Milan to Ravio, and then now they've boated over to Millie. I don't know how it's pronounced. Millie. It's all Italian places, and some of them are like old or ancient, and here in Mali they've landed and they've done some things. I have a playlist on YouTube of us playing. Just I don't edit or anything. It just as is how role playing really happens, mistakes and all. And they're dealing with the people. How do you put Christianity in it? It's kind of simple. I mean, in the sense of why haven't we done this before? And I can see why, because we cannot have Jesus in role-playing games. I mean, the pagans don't want it, the secularists, the pagans, whatever, and we Christians have been taught that too. We've been brainwashed. We've been bamboozled to think, oh yeah, we don't want Christianity. Well, no religion or politics in because it's religion and politics is offensive, or starts arguments. It starts arguments because pagans can't handle it. We Christians need to keep our faith in the game, period. And we need to make our characters Christian. And what is a Christian? We have forgotten that too. We evangelize. We are annoying. Yes, we're annoying. We're offensive to paganism. We're offensive to child sacrifice, to slavery. The history of slavery is one where Christians ended it. Paganism had slavery since day one, since the beginning. The white Christian started slavery around 1600. Portugal started in Portugal. They thought they were actually helping the Africans, bringing them up there because of how horrible Africa was. The voodoo paganism, the slavery that had gone for thousands of years. Think about this: when slavery started, Portugal, but when it started in America around 1600, they got the 1619 Project. Here's the hilarious thing: it ended by the 1900, completely ended in the white devil land of the whites. So 300 years, and even less than 300 years. I mean, in America, they were fighting it from the beginning. Had a huge civil war over it. And Britain finally said, we can't take this anymore. They ended it. So slavery lasted less than 300 years in the white section of the world or whatever. And to me, white section is the Christian section, because that was actually the last bastion of Christianity, was the white area, the white Europeans. Christianity had been wiped out in the Middle East by Islam, which is to me a paganism. Christianity had been wiped out in Africa, so the blacks did not have any Christianity, and so they were all enslaving each other in horrible voodoo paganism. And what is paganism? Is this: what I do saves me. That's paganism. What I do saves me. I'm good enough. I'm powerful enough. Don't get in my way. I will sacrifice you, enslave you, conquest you, infidel, force submit you. It's all paganism. You're saying, well, Islam is not paganism. Yes, it is. Everything else is paganism. I mean, I'm going to go a little further. Jehovah's Witnesses are pagans. Mormons are pagans because they all have requirements. And Catholics, yeah, I love you Catholics, so don't, but you have pagan tendencies, right? It's a mixture of paganism and Christianity. I do love you guys because your church history is in the struggle, so I'm moving you out of that. But at the same time, paganism is about, I'm going to save myself. I'm going to do this to save myself. I'm going to do that to save myself. I like this Jesus guy. I think I'll choose him over the other things that I've decided because in my philosophical superiority, I have chosen to save myself. I'm going to walk through the pearly gates. Excuse me, Paul, Jesus, excuse me. I'm coming through. Excuse me. See, so that's paganism, and be careful about that. Okay, so they come into this village. What do you do as role playing? What do you do? What the heck? Exactly. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been DMing and GMing for 45 years. I didn't even know what to do. I had to figure this out. So when the adventurers come into a village, right, there's always going to be a problem. Oops, I'm going to leave this here because this is the actual game. The characters. Oops, there's a nun. None there. Here, let me zoom in so you can see the fun little characters. Brother Jack and Brother Petros. Brother Jack has a skull of a dragon. That's right, dragon. We have dragons in this game. And this is all Roman gladiatorial stuff because of, it's 6th century, right after the fall of Rome, which the Christians kicked its butt and defeated it. Wow. Really, Christianity took over. And the Roman Empire fell. Because of Jesus. Because really, by 300 AD, Rome pretty much was falling apart. Anyway, okay. Oh, we do have dragons. Look, there's right there, dinosaur dragon. These guys hidden. They killed it actually, but so it's actually not even there. But there's just 3 parts of the same dragon, coming out of the water. So, but this is a dinosaur. I just used dinosaurs, and look, I don't need some big flappy winged dragon. Red dragon or celestial dragon or crystal dragon or whatever that's dumb stuff. A dinosaur, a bull, a bear are so freaking dangerous, right? In the game. In my game, those guys are dangerous. Even when you're high level, a bear will kill you, okay? And that's what's great about the game system I have for Fort Lord RPG. You got to be careful all the time. And as a GM, I don't have to make bear demon, bear god, bear super giant god every at each next session because you go up levels. It's just, to me, that whole thing of going up levels and then becoming demigods and all that is like, it's so pagan and pathetic and it's just boring. And high level characters is just superhero dumb to me. I'm just so interested in that any longer. So coming into a village, you got to deal with the people. How do you deal with the people? How do I as a GM create these characters, and what do I do? I'm going all over the place here, but I don't care. Okay. One thing I have a conversion system with levels. Where is one? Oh, here, village attitude. Okay. So the village attitude, I have a 1 through 8. It's in the game, Dark Ages, and I roll. And the 1 through 1 is very evil, obviously not really savable at all. Rare chance, but not, And then 8 is they're ready to be converted. So, and that's a secret number they don't know, but and generally speaking, if the people are really into their paganism, I will make that number, I will roll double and pick the lowest. So they're generally going to favor towards evil. And they can become violent. In this one, if the hooligan, okay, they are at level 1. So I rolled, and the hooligans of this village were very, very evil. But I, as a GM, have the freedom to change it a little. They're waiting for someone to draw first blood, then they'll attack. So they really want to kill the Christians when they come into the village. These guys right here. And actually, they did attack, but then when the Christians beat up a couple of them, they ran off because they're farmers. I'm not going to have them be to the death. Now, if they were the actual zealots of the witch, which is over here, the fanatics of the witch, I might have had them fight to the death if the witch was there. But these were the fisherman village, so I'm like, they're not going to kill themselves that crazily. I could have made it violent, but it's like not at this village. Okay. So there's a 1 through 8 roll, And that 138 roll too also helps me give them a what is their attitude? What is their, I have a little description on each level there. I should pull it up. Let me pull it up. I'll just let you see what I'm doing. What the heck? Okay, so I'm pulling up my InDesign, and these are all the different versions of the game I'm working on. Let me pull up the Dark Age. This one's free, by the way, on my website. You can get the PDF of this. Okay, I wanted, desperately. We have no Christian RPGs. We have a few of those. We have Christian motifs of games, and I appreciate that. I'm not trying to denigrate them, but we need a game where you're actually evangelizing in the game. Why do we need that kind of a game? Because, well, that's the truth of our Christian faith. It's not a motif. It's an active thing, and we don't evangelize anymore as Christians. We don't rebuke pagans and their sin, and we don't evangelize and plant churches. We really, yes, plenty do, but not in the RPG culture, not in the mainstream culture. There are plenty of big tent revivals happening right now, and I'm really happy for that. So that's great, and I, they're more effective than me for sure. But this is what I know. This is what I am gravitating toward, or I've always gravitated toward, is the RPG culture, and doing storytelling. So that's where I am focused. However ineffective. But that's okay. It's just what I love doing. And like I said, in evangelism, it doesn't matter if you fail or succeed. Just keep doing it. Don't be a jerk about it, but keep doing it. And know that you did what you could for the Lord. Okay. Here's the local level of the Christians. I have this violent evil. Oh, I need to update this. Let me see if that one, I just want to check it. I need to update that actually a little bit. It's the same, but I put in some die rank difficulties, like +4. They're resisting your evangelism. Violent evil. They're ready to just kill you if you mess with them at all. They hate the Christians. Manipulative evil will use violence to enslave if at great advantage. Otherwise, portrays themselves as victims. Okay. Wonder if you know anybody like that. Beyond salvation, only something violent and extreme could get them to instead serve the church. Betrayal is never far away from these lost souls. A strong church could keep them in check somewhat. So, to me, in society today, I'm a Calvinist, whatever that means. I'm a Reformed Baptist. I believe that God has made good people and God has made wicked people. Sorry. You can either like that or you can hate it. And ergo from there. A strong church can subdue evil, as we've seen in cultures. And that's to me is like what needs to happen again, because what's going on in the culture today, to our children, to sexuality, to your job, to media, you can't logically reason with these people. You have to subdue them. And by subduing, I mean, you have to be a strong Christian, you have to rebuke their sin, and you have to be backed by a good church that is part of the culture. And that's the problem. We don't have churches backing strong men who rebuke paganism. Anyway, okay. Evil as chaff tends towards selfish needs, can be manipulated, tends not to use violence like a greedy merchant, but will if they can get away with it. They surrender to save their own skin. They have feelings of worthlessness. If affirmed, may lead them to conversion, but rare is the soul in this group that is chosen. Oh, I should capital C that one. That is chosen. Okay, so you will know how to role play that character then, as you with any of these sort of levels, and you can obviously, gray area, haze it up, and if they preach really well and you're freaking impressed, you could, I like to add die ranks and still roll the dice, but you could just say, wow, they converted or subdued. Neutral evil, very suspicious, cautious, defensive, prone to outbursts of violence, then shame. Something calamitous or profitable should sway them to more evil. Their anger is destroying them. Will they be called to freedom? So, 5. Sinners have resorted to evil, do not like it, open to an answer. They feel guilty. They will avoid helping anyone for fear or of retribution. Their greatest fear and love needs to be revealed to them. 6. Listeners, having heard the answer, knows there must be an answer, seeks it, still defensive, still apprehensive, and fears evil all too well. A great preaching or selfless act may help. So 6 and above is kind of where you need to be. Considering the faith, seen Christians at work, has had positive run-ins with the church, still holds to old ways, could fall back into evil pagan practices, but certainly hoping for a better way. Seeing success against pagan threats could bring this out. 8, Christian, fully committed to the Christian faith, loves it in Jesus. So in the Dark Ages, there are actual Christians dotted throughout the culture. Now, in the APOC and the sci-fi, there are no Christians, so I have a little bit different wording for these ones. You know, like they're ready. They here's something that I kind of had a revelation towards, and many Christians already knew this, but something I had a finite or fine tuning of my Christian faith is that I'm a very apologetics guy. I like logic, reasoning in my testing of the Bible. I've tested the Bible for many years. Okay, so I have a very happy confidence in the Bible and what it says in the Word. I don't have any doubts anymore. I'm way into Christian Science and all that, creation science. But what I've realized is that a lot of people don't need that. A lot of Christians just need to know there's goodness, that there's love, and that, I'm going to say this in a weird way, but just hear me out. Even if there isn't really a God, they need to know that there's the concept of an all-lovingness that we all should obtain or aim for. So I'm just trying to cut it down to the bareness of it all. But obviously there's a God, there's a Jesus, there's someone who loves them that's beyond their own, horrible, boring life that they see in this reality or whatever. So with that then gives them the joy and hope that they want. So a lot of people do just need a good sermon. They don't even need, an explanation as much as just a good sermon. I actually, as a GM, have a hard time role playing that because that's not the way I want to be converted. I want to be converted through evidence, logic, a good sound argument, etc. But I need to role play a lot of these pagans as they just, if you just give them a good sermon about love, they're going to want to, that's it. That's all I need, and I need to role play that out better or more. And it's happening in the game too. There's a couple times now. This character right here had run-ins with a nun on a couple of this game, and he has come back to the village and lived here and is stewing. And she ran into him again here and freaking converted him with a nat 20. And I'm like, dang, wow. So, and it was just all sort of her just praying I'll pray for you. I care for you. And that was kind of neat. That's like, what the heck, So I kind of rolled for some of the major characters. I rolled a bit of that conversion. Like, is it this guy here? I wrote down remorseful, cautious, fearful of dragon, but feels it more a threat than to be honored. So I rolled out his conversion, but then catered it to this setting, because they had a dragon here they worship, but actually they killed the dragon. Become resentful and suspicious Christians will hide away and let the witch deal with the outsiders. So a couple of the Christians in the game actually died. I had a TPK. It was only 2 players at the time. I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to make everyone sort of regress back into their paganism when these 3 then returned. The sister survived. She fled, and then they returned now with these new characters. And now they're about to fight these dudes, actually. And there's going to be a whole witch fight thing here. They're coming to clearing these out because they actually ended up converting this guy. And then some of these, and the others said they're not going to do anything. They're afraid. The witch runs everything, so they have to go deal with the witch. So look at this as an adventure. This is a total adventure. And my point now, finally getting to the dungeon. Oh my gosh. How many minutes is this? 18? I am torturing you. I apologize. I'm going to have to mark that somewhere around minute 1847 that I'm going to show you the dungeon. We in this game, we're in the Christian RPG in my Dark Ages. I do have dungeon stuff, but I just don't focus on it because I want to focus on what I just talked about, evangelism and plant church planting. And the whole dungeon crawl thing of it all is something I haven't overlooked it. I just sort of made it a minor thing, but I feel like it's a sale point that I need to do to a lot of Christian RPGers because that's what we all love and enjoy. Like, that's the connection we have. And I need to sell that this thing can have a very powerful, very in-depth dungeon crawl with plenty of creatures, monsters, and intrigue. So, let me explain. After they kill the witch, I am going to reveal to the Dark Age, they're going to find this burial thing. There's a burial site back behind the witch that she worships here. They're going to find, I don't care if they find or don't find, I'm going to make them find it. Or they're going to hear about that the hills used to have in this little Italian area. Let me go back to the main map. This hill here used to be a burial grounds for the rich and elite of the Roman senators or whatever, like this was their summer villas, and then where they rested their ancestors and worshiped their ancestors. So in the hills used to be so that's my spec. No, that's not the truth. That's not the factual historical thing, but I want to do something to give you and me some fun, adventurous things to do. And dungeon explorations, and I know they love this stuff. I love this stuff. So, and whatever they find in there can help finance more things. So, let me show you then what I've been working on. So, another great thing about this game I provide you are these little pieces, so you can continually make as many little dungeon maps as you want. Now, this guy's going to be pretty innocent. He's a recent burial of a priest. Cleric from the earlier Christians that got removed, and the witch has sort of desecrated his tomb site and cursed him and is playing like torture on him. But then there's also a very wild evil boar here that they're gonna have to fight. But I'm gonna have it so that they can go to the crypt, which is back here, and I'm gonna show you the crypt, just show you what I'm working on, because I want you to see that yes, you too can have a fun dungeon crawl full of beasts. Okay, so there's the crypt. Once they enter in here, so here's another Christian dilemma. The statue is going to say, give an offering in the hand to I haven't detailed out the character yet, but give an offering to Mithra or, whatever the old stupid pagan gods are. So they have to put something in the hand. If they put something in the hand goes, and I'll have whoever has a good aware, I'll have them notice that. And that locks one of the steps here. And so that this boulder coming out of the back there doesn't crush them. See, I got traps, and the boulder will fall into this water pit here. Pretty cool. I might even make a snake beast come out of there. I don't know. I could make some. I don't want to throw them with too many creatures just yet. Okay, then this one, light the fire of Mithra to see the way. If heated, will expand wires around floor to not drop the stones. See, pretty cool. If you heat this up. And just whatever, as soon as they light it, it's it. They're gonna, if someone has a good intellect roll, they might notice the wire that goes along and expands and locks these perfectly, fitted stones around this spike trap. Put that down here, I guess, like that. See, and that's hidden right now. So then they go along. I gotta draw some doors. I don't have dungeon doors, oddly enough. So I'll work on that. But over here, you got giant spiders. Why not? We can have giant spiders. Prehistoric stuff. Everything prehistoric. And I'm going to show you some more of that. We're going to have a bat swarm attack them. Might have more than just this. But anyway. Down here, there's going to be a mountain lizard dragon that lives here. And there's going to be treasures in here. And there's going to be a mountain lizard that attacks them. See? And this just leads to outside. They can go back out if they want. Then they go along here. And this is going to have obelisk of clues. Roll to garner clues of the crypt. So they can read this, and if they roll successful, intellects or social history thing, I'll give them a clue about what's over here, like what's buried and stuff. Over here is going to be some ancestors. Now you go in here. If you go the back way, there's going to be a pit, and if you find a little secret door here, no pit, and and there's a evil spirit. See, so you can have an evil spirit. Yay! Pretty scary. Let me see. So, sorry, I'm gonna have to clear my throat here. Just a sec. Okay. So the evil spirit has prowess. Now I've changed that to prowess. Aggression, prowess, whatever. What is its toughest thing? The toughest thing it has is that half of any hit will just go right through it because it's ethereal, unless it's a holy weapon. So that's its best defense if you successfully hit it. And it's not that hard to hit. Then it has a necrotic touch. Does D6, and the D6 though no armor save, I think. Necrotic touch. You have to save versus a 14 or get rotting disease. Take a wound every time one is hit. Remove curse. Okay. Ooh. Wow. That's really bad. I might have to hide in shadows. Get to attack first if shadowy, and gets a +2 to defense. Yeah, so it has that. So a little bit of things here. I might tone that down a little, but we'll see. So that's a evil spirit thing there. Gives you a curse. Now I'll probably add more to this. I'm just starting out working on this dungeon crypt thing. So there's a cave in, and you got to climb down here. There's this dude here. He's sort of a hermit troll beast that lives in there. Let me show you. And he's pretty tough. He regenerates like a troll. Leap and grapple. And if he can really grab on you, he'll really hurt you. I think I'm going to give him a pet or something so that there's at least a little bit more to him. I'll probably give him a little evil pet. Let's see, what do I got here? Beasts. A boar? No. Cave dragon? Eee, that's a lot. Pet spider? I already have a spider over there. I'm going to come up with something. Let me just put that there to remind myself to give him a pet. There's a fallen statue here. There's a hole here. Water, whatever. Here's his little campsite. They have some loot there. And then different directions to go in. So, and I haven't built this out yet, but what I'm going to do is down here, there's going to be some giant crabby, because there's a lake over here anyway, down giant crabs, prehistoric cave crabs. I might have to make them a little more, just so they look a little more cavey, kind of like they're maybe like blind crabs or whatever. I want to make them a little more cavey like. So over here, I'm going to have a bunch of not undead, temple guards with the sorcerer, a crypt conjurer, and I'm going to create a little society for them. They're hiding here. They live here. They're degenerate. I don't know. I don't have them attached to any a surface thing, which is fine. Make them just live back down here like they've just been doomed and cursed and whatever. Not going to worry about that. These guys are, I call them the trolls, or I guess kobolds is their token, but I'm using them as the trolls. I might change them something else, troglodytes or something, but they're obviously, cosplaying humans wearing these creepy masks or features, and they would use heavy weapons. They're kind of, I would say, almost like you could say that they're actually kind of, not to be insulting, but what's the retarded, I'm going to say it, retarded human beings. I know that's politically incorrect, but oh my gosh, what are they called? They're all pretty nice, really good people, but something like where they have a genetic defect or something probably, and they live in the caves, probably from malnutrition more than anything, and they're just messed up. Down syndrome guys, but they're not Down syndrome, but something like they're just malnourished and degenerate mutations, but obviously evil and whacked. So, and they wear these masks and they live in here, and they're going to have a evil cult thing going on. And I got to build that out and build this out. And I could build in this. And now, are these convertible? I don't think so. I think they're all pretty evil. I haven't really decided yet, but I just want to say, look, I can do it. We can create a creepy underground crypt tomb thing, that, y'all can freak out on. And I'm just building the pieces here using my original Dark Ages stuff. Put that here. And so, yeah, you guys can create your own dungeons, and this could be from using printout paper. I would recommend hard card paper, just because when I use paper ones, they tend to fold up and crumple and makes the paper miniatures hard to sit on. I think I might want to do that. Print out some hard ones just for the fun of it. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so that's my little show you can create your own dungeon stuff for the Dark Ages and have fun with that. And let me show you real quick. Last thing, let me show you. I want to show you the new creatures I'm adding to this. Where's my site? Where's my thing here? Tokens 2. See, creating some creatures for the Shadow Drac. See, Shadow Drac. prehistoric. These are legit, and they're 6 to 8 feet tall or long. So these are going to be in there. Giant scorpion, creepy. This is from like King Kong, Peter Jackson, 2005 King Kong. The bloodworms coming out of the holes and stuff. Giant bloodworms or whatever. So those will be scary enough. And this is an conjoined twin, Etten, but that's real. A giantism showing conjoined twin. Might even make him part of the troglodytes. Another big they're called jackaloperuses or something. Jackaloperus. Giant cave worm, why not? Sure, giant, who knows what's out there, prehistoric kind of stuff. I don't know, mutant rat bear thing. It's kind of out from Fallout 4. Just want us to do something scary. Why not? Who knows? Any kind of prehistoric type of creature. We don't know what's out there, man. But I feel like we can push the envelope on some of this stuff, yeah. And I haven't added them in here yet, but I don't know if I'll add them in this dungeon right here, because I want to do all original stuff that I have made. Like the giant snake. Oops, I need to make this bigger if I'm going to do giant snake. Definitely giant snakes are legit. Yeah, haven't figured that out yet. Anyway, all right, so you can make a whole fun dungeon. And what is the most important thing about a dungeon? Actually, I forgot about this. Just go back to my regular face. And the most important thing about dungeon crawling is that you have a place to go to get upgrades, and with all the loot you get, right? You get to go, and this is obviously a pagan thing. I want to feed my heroics or whatever. So I'm gonna have to offer them a couple of like an armorer, blacksmith, the church. That if they get riches and bring it to the church, bring it to the armor, they can give them some upgrades. I'm definitely gonna have to include that in the game so they know, because that's the addictive feed of it all. Now, what am I doing here as far as evangelism, church planning for the Lord? One, we're trying to have fun. I'm trying to draw you Christians into this for the Lord RPG. But the underlying tone is you're going to have moments where you get to evangelize. And that affects our psyches when we role play evangelism. Just like practicing the sword is all about hitting a pell over and over and over. If what we're doing with regular RPGs is we're lulling our minds into just doing heroics and just minding our own business and don't use religion or politics and just accept paganism all around us. That's what role-playing games are doing to us right now. And again, I'm not against D&D or anything like that. I'm against, I guess, the creators now of it, the woke culture of it all, and that we Christians are putting away our faith when we shouldn't be. We should be right out there. We should be annoying to our buddies and non-Christians friends. We should be a little annoying. Anyway, and you can have a game, and you need to make it so that we have so many Christians playing this, or a version of this, or you take my idea. If you're going to steal anything from my game, please steal this: evangelism, church planning, please. For whatever game you want to put it in, doesn't matter to me. Not I'm going to play a paladin and be good. No, that is not Christianity. I'm going to be good in the game. No, that is not Christianity. Christianity is evangelism. Rebuking sin, telling him only through Christ will you be able to be free. That's being a Christian in RPGs. Okay? Just playing a good person who's going to save people is not Christian, because you're not really saving them, are you? Okay, so there's my another boring babbling video. Anyway, it's Memorial Day. I really want to do something. I want to figure out a way to do something for Gold Star families, but I just know if I contacted them, hey, I give you a free Dark Ages game or free Alfred books, they're gonna be like, who's this weirdo? Yeah, I gotta figure that out. It's been something on my mind. But for Memorial Day, if you ever can think of something for Gold Star families, or if you know anything, please let me know. I'd like to give them something to do with the game or with my book. I don't know. I just don't know how to do that. But it's always been on my mind. Happy Memorial Day in memory of those who've died for this nation. And I'm in memory of those who've died for Christianity, to save the world, to save America and the world. Let's remember them, especially martyrs. And many of the veterans obviously are Christian, and who died believing that they're helping a nation that is a nation of Christ. I know many say America has never been a nation of Christ, but I believe it has been because it was built by Christians, and we don't believe in government. That's why America and Christian nations have an easily like remove themselves and become pagan or Marxist or secular, is because we're fine with that. We're, as Christians, we don't want to control you with government. You don't see, there's no Christian regimes that control everybody like Islamic regimes or atheist Marxist regimes. We don't have Christian regimes because we do have this Catholic Church that was a separated thing, and this, or the Christians, the Protestant church that were separate from the government. And we sort of easily separate those out because we don't mind doing that. We don't want to control your lives. We don't want to have the power, we want to control it in that sense, in a tyrannical sense. We want you to convert willingly. Even if you're not Calvinist or whatever. Anyway. All right. In the game of life, roll holy dice. Dungeons! In the Dark Ages. Oh, yeah.